All right, in this video, I'm going to go over the 9 major issues I've experienced so far microdosing a GLP-1 in the past 6 months and with over 30 shots taken. By the way, I'm Nico, nutrition coach microdosing tirzepatide to help control my binge eating and to lose a bit of vanity weight. All right, number 9, overeating. Even with the appetite suppression that I get from microdosing, I can still eat more than I'm supposed to. It wasn't always like this. Like when I first started, I had a hard time overeating. And I know it's not a dose problem because I'm still getting a bunch of the appetite suppression. I think it's more so that I'm just getting used to the feeling of being on a GLP-1 and I can kind of like ignore the effects of it. I think probably a big part of it is that I've just been microdosing for like half a year now, and I know what to expect from tirzepatide. Like if I had a dozen donuts right in front of me, I probably could eat like 8 of them. And again, my dose is working and I don't want to increase it because I'll just get more side effects and I have to spend more money, which I don't want to. All right, number 8 is microdosing is not enough. So if I just had to lose a few pounds for just a few months, this wouldn't be an issue. But because my goal is to lose more than just a few pounds, I have to put in way more effort, and microdosing alone isn't enough to lose the weight. And by effort, I mean be more aware of what food I'm eating and how much I'm eating, as well as physical activity and exercise. I would say the first 2 to 3 months of microdosing for me, the fat loss was really easy, and I hoped it would always be like that. But it wasn't. After those 3 months and my weight loss was slowing down, I had to really dial things in. And I couldn't rely only on the GLP-1. Being on a GLP-1 does make weight loss a lot easier, but it's not a shortcut. Okay, number 7 is fat loss takes time. So before microdosing, whenever I would lose weight, I would lose around like half a pound to 1 pound per week. And after microdosing, I'm still losing at about the same rate. I want to go faster, but I'm not sure if I can sustain it because it requires a lot more effort. And because I'm losing at this rate, it's just really a grind. And the grind for sure is the hardest part for me when it comes to weight loss. Like being 6 months in and losing 20 pounds of vanity weight and still having, I don't know, like 2 or 3 more months to go is definitely really tough. And like I said earlier, I don't want to increase my dose because I'll just get more side effects and it just costs more money to take more meds. Okay, number 6 is side effects. A lot of people microdose because they're afraid of getting side effects from a regular dose, and that's the way I think of it too. But the thing is, I'm pretty sensitive to the meds and I still deal with the side effects, mostly nausea and bloat, and then sometimes stomach cramps. I used to have headaches and constipation, but those went away after like a few weeks. I do think it would have been worse if I just jumped to a straight up standard dose, like a regular dose. So thankfully, I'm glad I microdosed. All right, number 5 is hunger fluctuations. So after I take my shot, my appetite suppression is kind of high, and that's a problem because I can undereat food and I can lose weight too fast, which comes with a bunch of problems like potential muscle loss or fatigue or really low energy, in other words. But later in the week, when my appetite comes back, sometimes it can come back really strong and I can overeat. So this undereating at the beginning of the week and the overeating at the end of the week ends up just being like a net balance of the same, and I make no progress. So these hunger fluctuations for me, when I don't have the right dose, is a pretty annoying problem to have. All right, number 4 is constant unexpected changes. So things like my dosing schedule is always changing, the side effects I get and the severity of them are always changing. Hunger fluctuations, like I just mentioned, are always changing. And sometimes I get weird dose responses, like I'll be at the same dose and I'll be okay on it for a little while, but then it just suddenly feels off. Also, this is a typo on the E. So I guess when it comes to this topic, it's more so expect the unexpected. So from my experience of microdosing for like half a year, it's rarely a smooth ride. I think if you're microdosing just for a few months, this shouldn't be an issue. Maybe. All right, number 3 is trial and error, and it's mostly related to my dose. So my provider doesn't help me with my dose, and I don't want to find a new one because it fits my budget. But even if my providers did help me, they probably don't know how I personally feel and react to my dose. There's so much trial and error that goes into finding the right dose and hoping I just don't get more side effects or too little appetite suppression. And again, things are constantly changing. All right, number 2 is way more fat to lose than I thought. I thought I would be good after losing around like 20 to 25 pounds, but I'm 20 pounds down right now and I still got more to lose. And I say this as someone who's losing weight for vanity and didn't start microdosing a GLP-1 overweight. It's kind of hard to estimate how much I need to lose to get the look that I want. Now, if you're just losing a few pounds, then that's like whatever. But if you're like me and you're just trying to get like really lean, like 6-pack abs type lean, then it's usually way more than expected. All right, number 1 is dependency and rebound. I'm one of those people who's going to be taking a GLP-1s for life, and sometimes it's scary to think about what happens if I don't have access to it anymore, because it just improved my quality of life so much besides the weight loss stuff. Like I get a ton of other benefits out of it. When it comes to rebounding, I haven't finished losing weight yet, so I don't have much experience on this part specifically, but I assume I have a high chance of rebounding if I'm not careful about how I approach transitioning to maintenance. Maintenance meaning staying at the same weight after I hit my goals. I don't know how I'm going to approach reducing the meds yet or how it's going to feel, but I do think it's going to feel similar to how it's like when my shot wears off at the end of the week. Because when my shot wears off, then, the food noise and hunger and appetite comes back. And if I reduce my dose, I'm pretty sure all these feelings are going to come back stronger, which gives me a higher chance to regain the weight over time. But yeah, I'll figure it out. Now, going through this whole list of the 9 major issues I've come across, this all sounds pretty bad, but microdosing has been a life-changing thing for me, and it made losing weight so much easier. Like, I can't see myself losing weight without it. This isn't meant to be discouraging by any means if you're microdosing. It's more so just having clear expectations about what it's like to microdose for months or half a year in my case. Anyways, that's the video. Thanks for watching. Bye.